Hello, in today's video, we're going to be going over the 14.9 patch and what ships are going to be worth getting and not getting that came into this patch. So, as you guys can see, the Lushen B Dockyard is getting started, so we'll be going over that today, as well as the new ships that were rotated in, as well as the event pass and the 250th port anniversary with the Bridgeport and the Indiana. So, let's get started. First, we're going to be covering the Lushen B. So the Lushen B is essentially the clone of the Lushen, one of the best tier 10 gunboats in World of Warships. It excels at close, mid, and long range combat with amazing DPM for the guns, very strong HE, very strong AP. It has a super heal on it. If it heals about 9,000. Detection goes down to 5.8, which makes it one of the stealthiest gunboat destroyers at tier 10. And it also has a 5.5 kilometer hydro. So if you are spotted by this thing, you're pretty much going to get melted. It's very strong. Torpedoes are deep water that only hits cruisers, battleships, and CVs. So that is the downside. You're not going to be able to torpedo another destroyer, but your guns put out a massive DPM with that 1.7 second reload, which you can build into as well. And since you do get those Soviet ballistic guns and the hull, you're able to shoot very long distance very accurately with both HE and AP. I was playing earlier and I was citadeling in Austin at about 8 or 9 kilometers. So you definitely can do a lot of damage with both HE and AP. So I would highly recommend it. The dockyard itself, it costs 5,000 minimum. You can do 30 missions for free with a total of 35. So you do have to pay for 5 ship stages, which cost 5,000 doubloons. You can buy the 10 one as well if you like, but I definitely recommend buying the minimum at least. And some of you may be worried, are the missions harder than the previous dockyard mission of the Laffy? Well, I'm going to tell you here straight up, they're easier. They're way easier. Way easier to do. And the most difficult part in the previous dockyard was the base XP. They have removed that and put in instead XP. So you can use economic bonuses to get through that section quicker. A lot of people had issues on that one. They have listened and switched it from base XP to XP. So overall, this is some of the easiest missions that we've had. Yeah, they're a little time consuming in some, but overall, they're very easy to do and you'll have fun going through them. There are only 6 weeks in this patch. For the dockyard, there's only 6 weeks in the patch for the dockyard, and you will be getting 5 of these missions per patch. So 5 here, so per week, 5 for the first, 5 for the second, 5 for the third, and 5 and so forth, right? So overall, missions very easy to do. You'll get it done in no time, I guarantee it. Now, if you already have the Lushen and you're like, well, I already have the Lushen, why do I get the Lushen B? Well, if you get the Lushen B, if you already have the Lushen, you get this mission right here. If you complete this mission, of course, which is 4,000 base XP, you get 2,500 doubloons and 2,500 steel. So essentially, you get another tier 10 for 2,500 doubloons, right? And that doesn't include all the rewards of the dockyard. So as you go through the dockyard, there's a lot of awards you can get as well. So I'd highly recommend that you get this. Now, a lot of people have done research into this, so I can take notes on this. The overall rewards for this are less than the previous Lushen Dockyard. And before you guys panic, you're like, oh, there's less resources in this, there's less rewards from just going and playing it through. There is also the 250th US port that's also coming in as well. So as you're grinding these missions for this particular dockyard, you'll also be grinding those missions as well, getting rewards in that. So combined together, you'll be getting more rewards than if you were just doing the regular Lushen dockyard. So combined, it's worth it. And the 250th anniversary of the US Navy is starting next week as well. I'll show you guys the ships. I can't talk about the event too much yet since that is next week. So whenever that does come out, I'll be doing a separate video on that. But I can show you guys the Bridgeport. So this is the Bridgeport that is in that event. You can get that for free during that event. You can get this ship for free. Essentially a tier 8 ball team, right? You're also able to get the Indiana. You do have to pay for the Indiana. As you can see here, this is the Indiana. Essentially, it is a pretty much looks exactly like a mass. It's a Dakota class. So as you can see, it has this special camo as well. And look at this camo. This just looks so American with the eagle head right here and the wings and the stars just looks so American. I love it. Very good job by World of Warships on this camo, and the art department, as always, doing amazingly well. So very well done for them. The Bridgeport in particular does have a new exciting gimmick. It does have the toggable on and off reload booster, so you can turn this on and off at free will. So if you are shooting at someone and they die, you can just turn it off, or if you just need to keep this on all the way, then you can do that as well. The Indiana also has the gimmick of being the first American battleship to have hydro. So that's super cool, the 5-kilometer hydro. So very excited to play these when they do come off of NDA next week. So moving on from that, we're gonna be moving on talking about what ships have come into the armory itself. So we have the Ocean. The Ocean for 62,000 Research Bureau points. This is the first tier 10 carrier with jets. It also has a very stealthy as well. They're very good concealment. So it's essentially a competitor to the Essex, right? It has a very high DPM for how much damage output it can do. It has smokes just like the Essex. It's meant to be a competitor to the Essex, because right now Essex is one of the strongest CVs currently. So this is kind of their answer with this ship for Research Bureau. It gets 2 special squads that have smokes in them, and these are the jet squadrons. The torpedoes are regular planes, while the attack fighter and the bombers are both fighters and go very fast. So you can lay smoke in a very large area with these smokes, and so especially with how fast they can go. It's very cool to see and pretty hilarious. These smokes don't last very long, and you're not really gonna be building into them. You can if you like, but overall, very fun ship. Does a lot of DPM. The torpedoes were just buffed as well. And earlier I was hitting a Napoli for about 18,000, hitting all 4 torps on it. They did also reduce the army distance as well, which makes it easier to hit the torpedoes, because they do kind of spread out. They don't spread in, they spread out. So they are harder to hit. So if someone's flat broadside you, you are going to hit them. But if they start angling, you're going to be hitting way less torpedoes. So I would definitely recommend the Ocean 100% if you do enjoy playing CVs. Moving on from the Ocean, we have these new ships that were added to the armory. We have the return of the defense. All of these ships have returned. They have been in the game in some way or form, but they are now returned into the armory. And I'm going to be talking about which ones are worth it and which ones not, and for briefly like why and why not. The defense, it's a fun ship. Good AP, good HE, good torpedoes as well. 10 kilometers, 4 on each side, but that price of 450,000 coal is way too expensive. Even with a coupon, it goes down to like 300,000. Way too expensive. I don't recommend the defense when there's so many better options. So if you're new to World of Warships and this is like your first coal ship you're wanting to get, I do not recommend that you get the defense as your first coal ship. Way too expensive. Way better coal ships you can get. So like Napoli, like you have Napoli, you have Mosfa. There's just so many other crews you can get, and now with that price tag, way too expensive. Do not recommend with that price. If you have a ton of coal, then yeah, sure. But if you're newer or you have like you already have a few coal ships, then yeah, just don't. So Gonzaga essentially, if you see how the Kishiro plays in my how-to, or how the Barbiano plays, that's essentially how this plays. You use team spotting to smoke farm with your exhaust smoke. And you also have a engine boost. This ship goes very quickly with a 36 knot speed, and then you can use the engine boost by 20%. It goes up to like 45-ish. It goes really fast, and it has a heal as well. Very maneuverable as well. Very tight turning radiuses. The guns are all 360. Highly recommend the Gonzaga. A lot of fun to play. Very high skill cap. Difficult to play though. So if you have trouble playing certain ships, then maybe don't play this, but it's a very high skill cap. So very good reward if you do learn how to play it. So I definitely recommend. And again, these are just recommendations, as in saying I recommend it or I don't. I'm not just telling you guys to buy it, right? And of course, with all these ships, I highly recommend that you use your coupons. Use your coupons to be able to get cheaper prices for these ships. And again, these things aren't leaving for any time soon, so you can just save your coupons over time and get whatever ships you like. The Incheon, very versatile playstyle, essentially a smoke Des Moines. Good HE, good AP. You can play it open water as well if you'd like. Overall, very fun to play open water or in smoke. Does very well with that. Has the improved AP of the American Des Moines line. It gets a heal, reload booster for the Torps, DFAA, smoke, and the DCP. Overall, a lot of fun to play. If you do use the coupon on both this one or all three of these, it costs roughly about 80 bucks. So you can get with a coupon an Incheon, Monmouth, or a Seal for about 80 bucks, right? I think that's a pretty good deal for a tier 10. I'm glad that they actually put it into the armory and not that you have to buy for a bundle. So I'm very grateful that World of Warships did that. So if you do want to buy any of these ships, make sure to use the coupon. I would recommend that for sure. But again, this is a lot of money, and I'm not just going to say, okay, well, just buy this, right? I'm saying, okay, well, I think it's fun to play. And if it's something I don't think is worth at all, I'm just going to tell you guys that straight up. Incheon, I think it's definitely worth it if you like that versatile smoke and open water play style. Very fun to play. The Monmouth essentially is, if you've seen the Gibraltar, the Gibraltar is more focused on that destroyer cruiser, countering those, while the Monmouth does a better job at countering cruisers and battleships. The Monmouth has the improved ricochet angles of the British. Those things hit really hard. It also has a super heal as well. It's a little bit slow, and it does have the weak British armor, but it's maneuverable with its turning radius, which does help it be able to shoot its guns easier. It also has the British acceleration, so it can speed up and slow down really easily, which makes it very easy for it to dodge. It's more one-dimensional in its playstyle with having AP only. It has to do mid to long-range engagements. You can push with it when you won the flank, right? And you also have 10-kilometer torpedoes that also hit very hard as well. You can use in drive-bys if you do happen to do that. But it's less versatile than the Incheon, but more focused on that AP and those hard-hitting torpedoes as well. So that's for the Monmouth. I'd recommend it. I enjoy playing it. I personally bought this on my main account. I bought the Monmouth and the Gonzaga both on my main account. I definitely think these ships are worth it, so I bought them myself, and I was playing them all day today. Had a ton of fun playing both of these. They're amazing. You can go through my Twitch VOD if you want to watch some gameplay from there. I also have a how-to on the Monmouth, so you can watch that as well. The Minegumo is a direct competitor to the Jaeger. So if you want a more gun versatile Jaeger that's Japanese, of course the guns aren't going to be amazing because it does have strong torpedoes, but it has that 5.4 kilometer concealment. It has smoke. It's essentially a competitor to the Jaeger, right? If you are already happy with the Jaeger and you want to keep that and not get one that has smoke or slightly better guns, then just don't get this. If you're a torpedo enjoyer, you'll definitely enjoy this. But if you don't enjoy torps, do not get this. 100% do not. The Jupiter 42 is the exact opposite of the Minegumo. It is a very strong gunboat. It is purely focused on gunboating, as well as being a destroyer hunter. It has one of the best concealments for a tier 7 destroyer. It has AP only, but it has improved ricochet angles for the AP. Torpedoes are essentially non-existent, but with that improved, with how the guns are and how the torpedoes are, it gets very strong concealment. It gets an engine boost, 3-kilometer hydro, and a short burst smoke to be able to get in and out of engagements. If you enjoy gunboating or hunting other destroyers or subs, highly recommend the Jupiter 42. Tons of fun to play. This is going to be hard to use in PvE, so I wouldn't recommend it there, but PvP would do great. Minegumo isn't going to do as well it's going to do really great for PvP. PvE, not as much. Incheon would do good in both PvE and PvP. Gonzaga can do both good in PvP and PvE. Defense, PvP good, PvE okay. It's okay. Monmouth, it does good in all PvP and PvE, just because the guns slap. So moving on from those, let's talk about the Seal. 10-kilometer torpedoes, very hard hitting. If you like subs, you'll like this. That's enough said. It's just very hard hitting torpedoes, accurate pings, 10-kilometer torps. Just they just slap, right? Enough said for subs, right? If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't, and that's it. I'm not buying this damn thing. I'm just telling you that I hate subs. So moving on from there is the Picardie. Like, I feel bad for the Picardie. It's essentially a Lyon tier 7 that's been made into tier 8 and has better stats and it has way better secondaries. So essentially, you can play like a Lyon if you're up tiered, like HE spamming long distance. But if you're in a tier 8 and below match, oh boy, you can just go ham. You also get a reload booster as well to help you just put out more DPM with AP or HE. But there's just so many other tier 8 battleships that just do the same role, like the Terpes, the Brandenburg, Ipiranga, Massachusetts, Bismarck, Zeiton. There's just a lot of other ships that do the same thing. So, in that much of a saturated market, I wouldn't really recommend it as much. So that's just my forte for this one. Moving on from the Navarin. Navarin, highly recommend. Essentially a competitor to the Pommern in that top slot for PvE tier 9 combat. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Strong guns, 360 turrets on the rear too. Good concealment, very strong secondaries on it. Good heal, good tankiness, has a special DCP, has the Russian DCP, so quick action and quick reload, but you do have limited uses. It's slow though, so that's kind of a pain. The guns aren't the most accurate, but it's very good at medium ranges, which a lot of PvE combat is. So you will be doing a ton of damage with the Navarin. So its strong suit is PvE, but you can also take it to PvP as well. It will do well in there as well. It'll do both in good PvE and PvE. So highly recommend it for sure in that regard. Good armor, but if you do show broadside, yeah, be careful. It does have a turtleback though, but just be careful. Don't show broadside and you'll be okay. It has so many secondaries on it. Anywhere, look at this. Anywhere there's secondaries, anywhere there could be a secondary, there's a secondary on this thing. It's just absolutely everywhere. So I definitely recommend the Navarin. It's one of the best PvE battleships in the game. Highly recommended, 1000%. So that's all the ships that were rotated into the armory this patch, as well as talking about the Dockyard in the upcoming 250th anniversary of World of Warships. Now, next week, I'll be having a video covering that event and the best ways to farm that, because I already have the strategies for all that figured out. So you guys don't have to worry about that. For me, I got you. So one last thing to talk about is going to be the event pass. Is the event pass worth it? Let's find out. So we get a tier 10 commander here and then again, this costs 2,500 doubloons for the battle pass. You get the Frederick as you go through here. You get a total of 600 steel. You get a total of 1,200 coal. You get some free XP, you get economic bonuses, and at the end, you get rare bonuses, and this keeps going infinity until the patch is over, right? Do I recommend this? If you're looking for a ship out of it that's good, no. If you already have the Frederick, you'll just get credits for it, so that's nice in that regard. It is nice to get a tier 10 commander, sorry, a 10-point commander. That is really nice. But like, I got it just because I want the extra steel and the coal and the extra economic bonuses to be able to farm. But for a newer player, it could be nice to get this, but for more of a veteran player, it's more iffy. I'll just put it up in the air like 50-50 on if I think it's worth it or not. 50-50. It's not as good as the last one that had the Optio in it. So I'm going to say that much. Optio is way better than the Frederick. So I don't think I'd recommend this one as much just because of that. But that is going to be it. If you guys have any questions or concerns about what ships are worth it in the 14.9 patch, let me know in the comments down below. And thank y'all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces!